Hey, I'm Becca with the Happy Ever Crafter, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 really annoying little pesky problems that can happen with brush pens and exactly how to fix them. So first things first, for tools, I have the RHODIA grid pad paper here. RHODIA is just a really good high quality paper. You've probably heard me talk about it before. And this is a really good paper for brush pens or pointed pens or any calligraphy tools really. And the one I'm using today is the grid pad. So it's got a grid pattern on here that will give me guidelines for sizing. It also comes in blank versions and dot versions, which are both great also, but this is good for today. And then I'm also using a Tombow dual brush pen. So this is a pen that has one end brush pen and one end just felt tip pen. I won't be using the felt tip pen, I'm just using the brush pen end today. The brush pen problems that I'm about to go over actually happen with pretty much every brush pen, but this one I found in particular has issues, and it's also just a really nice big brush pen for me to demonstrate with. So this is what I'm going to use today. By the way, if you want to know more about supplies or learn more about what kinds of things I use most in my business, I have a link all down below to a free 50-page guide that I have for every supply that I use in my business. So pens and papers and paints and brushes and even tech supplies and stuff like that. So definitely grab that down below if you're interested in more supply stuff. Pesky problem number 1 is the tip flip. I've literally never called it a tip flip in my life, but okay, we're gonna go with it. The tip flip. What I'm talking about is when your pen sort of flips over itself. Let's demonstrate that one. So let's say I'm just drawing an oval and I'm starting off to the side, which you would know if you have learned the basic strokes. And then all of a sudden, when I come around the top here, my pen flips over itself. And then I end up with a really messy and not very thick downstroke. That's what I'm referring to when I say that the pen flips over itself. So let's do that again a little bigger. And then you see the top of the pen flip when you try and come around that top corner. That's what I mean by the tip flip. So did you see what the issue was in that video? If not, let's play it one more time. So you were probably able to notice it in that last video, but the issue with that oval and the tip flipping at the top is that my pen was too vertical. So the easy fix for this one is just to adjust your pen so it's on about a 45-degree angle to the page, and then you won't get that flip at the top. So now if I were to try and do my oval, my pen doesn't flip over itself. It allows me to gradually add that pressure and get the nice variation here. So again, 45-degree angle to the page. And that's how you solve pesky problem number 1. Pesky problem number 2 is what I lovingly call the soggy bottom. You can see it in this picture, but let's see how that looks demonstrated. So again, I'm going to draw an oval, and this time I want you to see right off the bat if you can spot what the problem is. Think you know what the issue is? So again, in this example, we're talking about the soggy bottom. And the soggy bottom happens when you don't let off the pressure early enough. So if I were to do an oval properly, it would look like this. Notice how from about here to the bottom, it's starting to let off the pressure. And so by the time you get to the bottom, it's a light pressure coming back up and there's no soggy bottom. So what you want to do as a quick fix for the soggy bottom is to start letting off about here on your ovals, and then you'll have that gradual transition. So again, in slow motion, letting off about here. And when I get to the bottom, it's a light pressure. So that's the quick fix for pesky problem number 2, the soggy bottom. And pesky problem number 3 is the gap top. I'm not talking about like a top from the gap. I'm talking about this little gap that you get at the top of some of your strokes. Let's look at that one. So one last time, I'm going to draw an oval, and I want you to see if you can spot the problem. So you'll notice on all three of these ovals that there's a weird gap right in this top corner, right here. And you probably noticed it because you've heard me talk before about how slow you should be going in calligraphy. But the reason this happened is because you were going way too fast. So you were transitioning way too quickly. So if I, again, were to do a normal oval, it's the same speed the whole way. Whereas with these ones, I was going slow, 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 fast, slow, 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 slow. And a lot of people have the tendency to do that slow upstroke and fast downstroke, but that's where you run into issues like this. And that little gap will look different depending on what pen you're using. A lot of the time I notice it with the TOMBOW Fudenosuke, the smaller black pen, or sometimes it'll just end up looking like a little bit of a messy edge over here. But as soon as you see any gaps like this or any issues at the top left-hand corner of your oval, you know that generally it's an issue with the speed you're going or the angle of your pen. So that's a quick fix for pesky problem number 3. So that's it for the 3 pesky mistakes. First, we went over the tip flip, which is a brand new name I came up with in this video, the soggy bottom, and the gap top. So hopefully those were helpful for you. And if you want to keep rolling with improving your brush calligraphy, make sure you check out this video where I went over the 4 most common mistakes I see beginners making in brush calligraphy. And I'll talk to you next time.